If you're 77 years old today, there's something you need to know, and it's not what you imagine. I'm not going to talk to you about miracle diets, nor about exercises that promise to make you younger. What I'm going to share with you now is something that most doctors never mention in consultation, something that can completely change the way you live your final years. And maybe, just maybe, it's already too late for some, but not for you. Because you see, there's an enormous difference between turning 77 years old and reaching 77 years truly alive. Let me explain. 3 weeks ago, a man named Robert walked into his doctor's office. He was 77 years old, just turned. He walked well, he looked healthy. His tests were, according to the doctor, within normal range for his age. They prescribed him the usual pills. They told him to come back in 6 months. Robert left feeling calm, but something inside him wasn't calm, because Robert felt something the test didn't detect, something no machine can measure. A sensation that woke him at 3 in the morning and left him staring at the ceiling. A question that nobody asked him in the office. Am I really living or just surviving? And that question, my friend, is the secret that no doctor will ever tell you. Because modern medicine is trained to keep your body functioning, to control cholesterol, to lower blood pressure, to check blood sugar, and all of that is fine. It's necessary. But there's something that slips through the fingers of every medical consultation, something invisible but more powerful than any medication. The will to live, not biological life. That's something else. I'm referring to that spark that makes you wake up with desire, that makes your day meaningful, that pushes you to get out of bed, not because you must, but because you want to. And at 77 years old, that spark is in danger. Not because of age, but because of something much more subtle, something that happens slowly, so slowly that you don't even notice it, like a light that's going out day by day, until one day you realize you're sitting in darkness. Robert noticed it, but it was already late. Let me tell you what happened to him. And please, pay close attention, because you might be seeing yourself reflected in every word. Robert had been a busy man his entire life. He worked for 45 years at the same company. He raised 3 children. He never missed a day of work. He was responsible, reliable. He did everything a good man is supposed to do, and when retirement came, he felt relief. Finally, I'm going to rest, he told himself, and he rested. For 2 years, he rested. He would get up late, watch television, eat whatever his wife prepared, go to the doctor when needed, visit his children occasionally. Everything seemed fine, but something was dying inside him. It wasn't his body. His body was functioning. It was something else. It was his purpose. You see, Robert had spent 45 years being useful, being necessary, solving problems, making decisions, mattering in other people's lives. And suddenly all of that disappeared. They didn't need him at work anymore. His children were busy with their own lives. His wife had her friends, and Robert became invisible. And when you're invisible for a long time, something inside you starts to believe you no longer exist. That's what doctors don't tell you. They can check your heart. They can measure your pressure. They can prescribe pills. But they can't give you a reason to keep going. And without a reason, the body starts to give up. Not dramatically, not with a sudden heart attack, but with a slow shutdown. Your joints hurt more. It's harder to get up. You lose your appetite. You sleep worse. You forget things. Doctors put names on all of this: arthritis, insomnia, early dementia. And they prescribe more pills, but nobody asks you the only thing that matters. What do you get up for each morning? Robert didn't have an answer, and that was killing him faster than any disease. Until one day something changed. His 8-year-old grandson came to his house crying. He had failed a math test. Robert sat him at the kitchen table, and for 2 hours he explained fractions using oranges and a knife. The boy understood. He smiled. He gave him a hug. And Robert felt something he hadn't felt in 2 years. He felt useful. That night he slept better. The next morning he got up earlier, and without anyone asking, he called his grandson. "Do you need help with homework again?" He started visiting twice a week, then 3 times, then every day after school. He became his personal tutor. The boy improved his grades. The parents were grateful. But most importantly, Robert had come back to life. His body hadn't changed. His test results were still the same. But something inside him had awakened, and that changed everything. Because you see, what Robert discovered without knowing it is something that science has confirmed over and over, but that almost nobody tells you when you turn 77. Purpose is medicine. It's not a motivational phrase. It's not a self-help slogan. It's a biological fact proven by decades of medical research. People with a clear sense of purpose in life have a 23% lower risk of death from any cause. I'm not saying that. The most prestigious universities in the world are saying it. They have fewer heart diseases, fewer strokes, less Alzheimer's, better immune system, faster recovery after surgeries. And you know what's most shocking? That the effect of purpose on your health is stronger than exercising, stronger than quitting smoking, stronger than taking all the vitamins in the world. But no doctor prescribes you purpose because it doesn't come in pills. It has no dosage. No laboratory sells it. And yet it's the only thing that can truly give you years of life. Not years of existence, years of life. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt that you truly matter? I don't mean that your family loves you. Of course they love you. I'm referring to something deeper, being necessary, someone needing you, your experience, your time, your presence. Think about it honestly. When was the last time someone sought you out, not out of obligation, but because they genuinely needed something that only you can give? If you have to think about it too long, there's the problem. And that problem is more dangerous than diabetes, more dangerous than hypertension, more dangerous than high cholesterol, because those illnesses kill the body, but lack of purpose kills the soul first. And when the soul dies, the body simply follows. Robert was about to reach that point, and he didn't know it. During those 2 years of retirement, his body started changing in ways the doctors didn't notice. He slept more hours, but woke up more tired. He ate, but didn't enjoy the food. He talked with his wife, but the conversations were empty. He watched television, but didn't remember what he had seen. His wife started to worry. "You're very quiet," she'd tell him. "Do you feel all right?" And Robert would answer yes. Because physically he was fine. The test confirmed it. But inside something was shutting down. He would wake up in the mornings and had no reason to get up quickly. No meeting, no responsibility, no place where he was needed. He started staying in bed longer, an extra half hour, then an hour, then until 10 in the morning. Why get up, he thought. I have nothing to do. And every time he thought that, a part of him died a little more, because the human brain is incredibly sensitive to the signals you send it. When every day you get up without purpose, the brain receives a clear message. I'm no longer useful. I no longer matter. I'm finished. And the brain, being the efficient machine it is, starts preparing for the end. It reduces production of neurotransmitters that give you energy. It decreases motivation. It weakens memory. It lowers defenses, not because you're sick, but because the brain believes it no longer has a reason to keep you in optimal condition. It's brutal, but it's real. And Robert was falling into that spiral without realizing it, until that day with his grandson. When he saw the tears in the boy's eyes, something inside Robert awakened, an ancient instinct, the instinct to protect, to teach, to serve. He sat with him. He explained fractions. And when the boy understood, when his face lit up, Robert felt something he hadn't felt in months. Real joy. Not the superficial joy of watching a funny show on television. Not the fleeting joy of eating something delicious. The deep joy of knowing you just changed something in someone's life. That night, as he prepared for bed, Robert looked at himself in the mirror. And for the first time in 2 years, he recognized himself. I can still do this, he thought. I'm still good for something. And with that thought, everything changed. The next day he got up earlier, he bathed more carefully, he dressed better, because he knew he was going to see his grandson again. He started preparing lessons in advance. He looked for creative ways to explain things. He bought notebooks and colored pencils. And something extraordinary happened. His body responded. The back pains that bothered him every morning diminished. The constant tiredness went away. His appetite returned. He slept deeply and woke up rested. Did the medical tests change? No, they remained the same. But Robert had come back to life because he had given his brain exactly what it needed, a reason to keep functioning at maximum capacity. Now, I want you to understand something important. I'm not saying that purpose cures diseases. If you have diabetes, you need insulin. If your heart is sick, you need treatment. But what I am saying is this: without purpose, no treatment works as well as it should. With purpose, everything works better. Your body heals faster. Your mind stays clearer. Your heart beats stronger. Your immune system fights with more energy. Why? Because purpose tells your body, they still need me here. It's not time to give up yet. And your body obeys. But here's the problem. Most people at 77 years old have lost their purpose, and they don't realize it because they confuse purpose with being busy. I'm busy, they say. I go to the doctor, I do shopping, I visit my children, I go for walks. But being busy is not the same as having purpose. Purpose is knowing that your existence makes a real difference in someone else's life. Purpose is being necessary. Purpose is that someone is better off because you exist. And there's the difference between Robert before and after. Before he was busy, he did things. But nobody really needed him. After he had purpose, his grandson needed him, and that need kept him alive. Now let me ask you something difficult. Who needs you? Don't tell me your family loves you. I know that. But who needs you? Who would be worse off if you weren't here? Who is waiting for something that only you can give? If the answer doesn't come immediately to your mind, there's the problem. And believe me, you're not the only one. Millions of people over 70 years old are living without purpose, and they're dying slowly because of it. Not from terminal diseases, not from accidents. They're simply fading away. Doctors call it natural deterioration from age. But that's a convenient lie. It's not age. It's the lack of reasons to fight against age. Because there are 77-year-old people running marathons. There are 80-year-old people writing books. There are 85-year-old people teaching at universities. There are 90-year-old people giving lectures. What's the difference between them and the people who fade away? Purpose. Those people have something important to do. Someone needs them, and that's why they keep going. Not because they're special, but because they found a reason. And you can find one too, but you have to actively search for it, because nobody's going to bring it to your doorstep. Nobody's going to ring the bell and say, "Hello, I've come to give you a purpose so you keep living." That doesn't happen. You have to go out and look for it. And you have to start today, not tomorrow, today. Because every day that passes without purpose is a day your brain convinces itself a little more that you're no longer necessary. And once that idea becomes deeply installed, reversing it becomes increasingly difficult. Robert was lucky. His grandson came crying just in time. But many don't have that luck. And they fade away without realizing it, thinking it's normal, that it's part of aging. And it's not. Aging doesn't mean fading away. Aging means changing stages but staying in the play. So what can you do? Let me give you a clear path. Because theory is nice, but you need action. First, identify something you know how to do well. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be something grand. Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to repair things? Do you know how to sew? Do you know how to tell stories? Do you know how to give advice about relationships? Do you know a trade you learned decades ago? There's something you've done for 70 years that someone needs to learn. Think about it. What is it? Maybe it's something as simple as knowing how to listen. Believe me, there are thousands of people who desperately need someone who truly listens. Or maybe it's something more specific, a trade, a skill, a unique experience. Identify it. Write it down if necessary. Second, find someone who needs it. And here comes the hard part, because you have to step out of your comfort zone. It could be a grandchild, like in Robert's case, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a neighbor, a child from the neighborhood, a young person from your church, a community organization, a school that needs volunteers, a nursing home that needs visitors. There are so many needs in the world, and many of them can only be filled by someone with your experience. Young people have energy, but they don't have patience. You do. Young people have ambition, but they don't have perspective. You do. Young people have speed, but they don't have wisdom. You do. What you have is irreplaceable, but you have to offer it, because nobody is going to guess that you're available. You have to say it. Call your child and ask if your grandchildren need help with something. Don't wait for them to ask you. Visit your church or community center and ask where they need volunteers. Talk to your neighbors, especially the younger ones. Ask them if they need help with something. Offer yourself actively. Yes, at first it might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like you're bothering them, but you're not. You're saving your own life while helping others. It's a fair exchange. Third, commit regularly. This is critical. It can't be something sporadic.
Robert didn't help his grandson when he had time. He did it every day. He committed, because purpose doesn't come from isolated acts. It comes from consistency. When something depends on you regularly, your brain understands, I'm necessary. I must stay strong. It could be twice a week, it could be every day, but it has to be regular, because that regularity is what keeps the spark alive. Fourth, don't seek recognition. Seek impact. Many people don't do this because they think, and what do I get? And that's the wrong question. The right question is, what can I give? Because when you give without expecting anything in return, you receive the most valuable thing that exists, meaning. Robert didn't expect his grandson to call him a hero. He just wanted to help him with math. But the result was that he found a reason to live. That's the benefit. Not applause, but the deep feeling that your life matters. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm already tired. I've already given enough. I've already done my part. And I understand that feeling. I really do. You've worked your entire life. You've raised children. You've paid bills. You've fulfilled your obligations. You feel you've earned the right to rest. And you have. Nobody is telling you otherwise. But let me ask you something. Is resting making you happy? Is resting making you feel alive? Or is resting making you feel empty? Because there's an enormous difference between restorative rest and abandonment disguised as rest. Restorative rest recharges you. It gives you energy. It prepares you to return to action. Abandonment shuts you down. It takes away your energy. It prepares you for the end. Which of the two are you experiencing? Be honest with yourself. If you get up every morning without desire, if the days feel endless, if you feel that time passes but means nothing, then you're not resting. You're abandoning yourself. And you can call it whatever you want. You can say it's retirement, that it's deserved, that it's normal. But your heart knows the truth. It knows you weren't born to sit around waiting for time to pass. You were born to matter, to contribute, to leave a mark, and that has no expiration date. Not at 65, not at 77, not at 85. As long as you breathe, you can matter. But you have to choose it, because nobody else is going to choose it for you. Your children are busy with their own lives. Your spouse has their own routines. Your friends are dealing with their own problems. Nobody is going to come rescue you from emptiness. Only you can do that. And the way to do it is by finding something bigger than yourself, something worthwhile, someone who needs you. Robert found it in his grandson, but there are millions of ways to find it. A 78-year-old woman in my neighborhood started knitting hats for premature babies at the hospital. She makes 3 hats per week, and each hat saves a baby from the cold in the incubator. She doesn't know those babies. She'll never see them, but she knows her work matters, and that keeps her alive. An 81-year-old man I know started visiting other elderly people in the nursing home. He can walk. They can't. He reads them the newspaper. He tells them jokes. He listens to them. They don't pay him. He receives no awards, but he has a reason to get up every Tuesday and Thursday, and that reason keeps him strong. A 75-year-old couple open their home once a week for young people from the neighborhood who need a safe place to study. They give them coffee. They lend them books. Sometimes they just listen to them. Those young people call them everyone's grandparents. And that couple has more energy than many 50-year-olds. Why? Because they have purpose. And purpose is the best medicine that exists. It's not going to cure cancer. It's not going to take away arthritis. It's not going to give you back your 30s. But it's going to give you something no pill can give you. It's going to give you a reason to fight. And when you have a reason to fight, your body fights with you. But when you have no reason, your body gives up. It's that simple. So, let me ask you the question that really matters. What are you going to do with the years you have left? It could be 5 years, it could be 10, it could be 20. We don't know. But what we do know is this. Each of those years can be meaningful or empty. It depends completely on you. You can spend them sitting on the couch, watching television, waiting for occasional visits from your children, counting the days until the next doctor's appointment. Or you can spend them knowing that every week someone is better off because you exist. Which do you prefer? Because you can't have both. You can't be completely withdrawn from the world and at the same time feel alive. It doesn't work that way. Human beings are designed to contribute, to be part of something, to matter. And when you stop doing that, you fade away, slowly, silently, inevitably. Robert was about to fade away. He was saved by a grandson with math problems. But not everyone has that luck. Some fade away completely before the moment to awaken arrives. And it's a tragedy, because they had so much to give, so much experience, so much wisdom, but they never offered it. They took it to the grave, and the world became a little poorer. Don't let that happen to you. Don't take your wisdom to the grave. Don't take your stories, your lessons, your skills, your time, your patience, your experience. There's someone out there who needs exactly what you have. Maybe you don't know it yet. Maybe they don't know it either. But they're waiting, without knowing it, waiting for someone like you to appear and tell them, I can help you with that. And when you find them, when you connect with that person or that cause or that project, something magical is going to happen. You're not just going to change their life, you're going to save your own. Because the moment you become necessary to someone, you have a reason to get up every morning again. And that reason makes all the difference. It makes the difference between existing and living, between breathing and being alive, between counting the days and making the days count. Now, I want to be completely honest with you about something. Maybe you're hearing all this and feeling resistance. Maybe you're thinking, it's too late for me. I've already lost too much time. I don't have the energy I had before. And I want to answer you with complete sincerity. You're right about one thing. You don't have the same energy as before. But that doesn't mean you don't have enough energy, because you don't need the energy of a 25-year-old to change a life. You just need enough energy to be present, to listen, to share, to guide, and you have that energy, even if you don't believe it. What happens is that you've been using it on things that give you nothing in return. You use it watching television. You use it worrying. You use it going over the same thoughts every day. But when you use it on something that matters, you're going to discover you have more energy than you thought. Because energy doesn't just come from food or rest. Energy comes from meaning. When your life has meaning, you find energy you didn't even know existed. Robert discovered it. At 77 years old, tired, Without purpose, he thought he had nothing left to give. But when he found his reason, suddenly he had energy for 2 hours daily with his grandson. Where did that energy come from? Not from pills, not from a new diet, not from a supplement. It came from purpose. Purpose generates energy. Lack of purpose drains it. It's that simple. So yes, maybe you've lost time. Maybe you could have started this years ago. But you know what's worse than starting late? Never starting. Because if you don't start today, tomorrow you're going to be in the same position, but 1 day older. And the day after, the same. And in a month. And in a year. Until one day there's no more time. And then you're going to look back and ask yourself, why didn't I do it when I still could? Don't let that day come, because that's the worst kind of regret. The regret of what you never tried. You can live with the regret of having tried something and failed, but you can't live in peace with the regret of never having tried. So what are you going to choose? Are you going to stay where you are, comfortable but empty? Or are you going to take a step towards something that scares you a little, but could give you what you need most? Because yes, it's scary. It's scary to offer yourself and be rejected. It's scary to try something new at 77 years old. It's scary to leave the safe routine you've built. But you know what's scarier? Reaching the end of your life and realizing you stopped living long before you died. That's the real fear. And millions of people are experiencing it right now. They're biologically alive, but dead in everything else. And the worst part is that many don't even realize it. They think what they feel is normal, that it's part of aging, the constant tiredness, the lack of motivation, the feeling of irrelevance, the sensation that days have no meaning. They think all old people feel this way, and it's not true. Old people with purpose don't feel that way. They feel tired at the end of the day, but it's a satisfying tiredness. The tiredness of having done something that matters. They wake up with something to look forward to, with someone who needs them. That's the difference, and that difference is within your reach. You don't need money. You don't need special connections. You don't need extraordinary abilities. You just need 2 things. First, the decision to matter again. And second, the action of looking for where you can do it. That's all. But you have to do it. Nobody can do it for you. Your doctor can't prescribe it. Your family can't impose it. Not even God can force you to do it. It has to be your decision to stand up and say, I'm not finished yet. I still have something to give. I still matter. And when you make that decision, when you truly make it, something is going to change in you. Not immediately, not magically, but little by little. You're going to notice you sleep better, that things hurt less, that you have more appetite, that you smile more, that days pass faster but in a satisfying way. And one day, maybe in a few months, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and you're going to recognize yourself again. You're going to see the person you were when your life had meaning. And you're going to realize it was never too late. It was just a matter of deciding. Robert decided it, and it changed his life. Now it's your turn. But it has to be today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel better, today. Because every day you wait is one less day you have. And the days run out faster than you think. So let me leave you with this. The secret that doctors will never tell you is simple. You don't need more pills. You need more reasons. Reasons to get up. Reasons to move. Reasons to continue. And those reasons aren't in the pharmacy. They're not in the office. They're not on television. They're out there. In people. In the needs that only you can fill. Search for them. Find them. Hold on to them. Because they're the only thing that can truly keep you alive. Not biologically alive. Medicine does that. Truly alive. Purpose does that. And you can still have it. But you have to choose it. Today. Now. What are you going to do? The answer to that question will determine how you're going to live the next years of your life. And only you can answer it, Robert answered. And his life changed completely. Now it's your turn. And the clock is ticking.